cold outside, but the fire keeps us warm. We can spend the night underneath the mistletoe, and I've gotten you a present that...
Hi, I'm Sonia. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to be making gingerbread men. I love making them this time of year. We have made a lot of different kinds of gingerbread recipes to try to experiment with them throughout the years, and we know that we don't like ours too hard. We like ours a little bit softer. They're just, in our opinion, taste better. So I'm going to show you how to make them, and then we get to the fun part of decorating them, and I'm going to show you how to make a really easy royal icing that you can use on these cookies, or if you're making sugar cookies, you can use them on those. And if you're looking for a good sugar cookie recipe, we made them last year, and I'll link an eye right here to our last year's video, and I showed you all kinds of different kinds of cookies. So this year I thought we would do something. You know, we didn't make gingerbread men, so we're going to show you how to do them today. Okay, let's get started, and before you leave, I love that you subscribe, and don't forget, give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps my channel. Okay, we're going to start out with 10 tablespoons of salted butter. I like the salt kind. You want to use it unsalted, it's fine. I did have this sitting out at room temperature, so it would, you know, soften up some, and then we are just going to whip it up and get it all nice and creamy. Sorry, I have been missing on YouTube lately, you guys. We've just been so busy in our house. Then we are going to be doing 3/4 of a cup of brown sugar, and the recipe will be in the description box. I feel like there was Thanksgiving, and then we had Hanukkah, and we've been having all kinds of stuff going on in our lives, just normal holiday stuff, parties to go to, all kinds of things. And then we are going to be doing 2/3 of a cup of molasses. I actually made this several times. I want you guys to know, trying all kinds of recipes, then coming up with my very own. I'd even try with brown sugar. I want to tell you, it's so much better with molasses. If you guys haven't tried a recipe with molasses, you need to taste it. Tastes so much better. And then we're adding in 1 egg. Again, if you miss one of these ingredients right now, the full recipe will be in my description box, and we're going to do 1/2 teaspoon of salt, and then we are going to be doing 1 teaspoon of vanilla. So I tried different recipes, but I also like my gingerbread kind of soft, and I think the using of the molasses is what makes this really soft. Because some of the recipes only use brown sugar. Okay, so now we are going to be starting with the flour. Guys, okay, you can see it right here. We're doing 3.5 cups of flour. I don't know what was going on with me. I did this recipe at night, or was it my mixer? I feel like it kept going to the next setting. Maybe it didn't have it on right, and there was just like flour going everywhere. And at a certain point, you see it again? I was just like, you know what? We're just gonna keep going. Thank God I didn't stop and clean it up. I was like, it is what it is. We're just gonna keep going. I need to get this made, because I had made it several times. I was like, okay, this is the final one. I think I have my recipe that I really like. I don't like trying new recipes until I've tried them several times for you guys. You see, it felt like it kept like speeding up that night, and then I kept slowing it down. And the flour was going over. Granted, I probably should have just stopped it and then put it in and then hit it, but I don't know. Probably put in a little bit less at a time, but eventually I do get in 3.5 cups of flour into our mix. And if you feel like it's getting a lot on the sides, maybe take a spatula and try to push it all down so it can get all mixed together. And then we are going to be adding in 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon of ginger, 1 tablespoon of cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. And if for some reason you don't like one of these spices, you could just omit it. But I think that even if you're like, wow, that's a lot of ginger, you don't really taste it when it's all blended and all together. These cookies really taste amazing. And not only that, they are just so fun to decorate. So we are going to get it all mixed up, and I want to let you know that when it's all mixed up and all put together, it's still going to be a little sticky, but it shouldn't be so sticky that you can't get it out. So at that point I tested it, and I added in just a little bit more flour, probably about 1/4 cup. Now granted, there's probably at least 1/4 cup out there on my granite and on my countertop. So I just added a little bit more, but this dough is extremely sticky. So when you pull it out, you're gonna be like, is this done? But just think of it as more of a wet cookie dough than what you would think like your chocolate chip one would be. But it's still gonna be fairly sticky. So that is what we are going to be doing next, is we are going to take all of our dough and go ahead and put it into some saran wrap. And I put it into 2 different balls so that when we're rolling out, we're gonna roll out one and then we will do the next one. So you're just gonna put it into some saran wrap. We're gonna make 2 different ones, get everything out. And then we are going to place it into the refrigerator for at least 2 to 3 hours. I did mine the night before because I knew like it was getting late and I just wanted to do it. So I actually put mine in and put them in overnight. So if you knew you were going to do this the next day, that might be the best because it's probably going to take at least 2 to 3 hours in the refrigerator.
Hey, we're back. It's the next day. I did it the night before. You can do it the same day. The only thing you need to know is your dough does need to sit in the refrigerator for probably at least 2 hours. It needs to become firm, because if not, once you cut them out, it's not going to hold their shape. They're just going to spread out and they won't look like gingerbread anymore. Sorry. There's actually a guy cleaning my roof today to get all the moss out. That's what happens if you live in Northwest. You have to get like the moss clean. My dogs are going crazy, so I'm probably going to voice over the next part. But we're just going to roll them out. We're going to use, you can use either parchment paper or Silpat. That's what I'm going to use. Whatever you have is fine. You just don't want them sick. And if you do use a little, you can either roll them between 2 pieces of like saran paper, saran wrap, wax paper, or you can just put it out. The only thing, you put it out, you put a little flour. You might see the flour a little bit on your cookies, which is fine with me, but if it bothers you, roll it in between the saran wrap or the parchment paper, whatever you like, so you can't see it. And then I'm going to show you how to make some royal icing and show you how to make them so cute. That's part of the fun of always making cookies at this time of year, is decoration. I think my daughter hopefully will be home by then because she wanted to help decorate. Okay, let's roll these cookies out.
Oh yes, we are getting to the fun part. So I decided to just do it right there on my countertops and roll it out. Now I will tell you, if you're not going to decorate your gingerbread cookies, you definitely want to roll them in between saran wrap, because when you do bake them, you're going to get a little bit like of the coloring of the flour. It wasn't really that bad. There was a few just like little pieces, but if you're going to only serve them that way and you're not going to really decorate them, then maybe you want to do it that way. But it does take a little bit more time to do it that way, and I just thought this was just so much easier, and I knew that I was going to decorate them. The other thing that happened to me is I didn't put enough flour, and I will tell you, you want to roll out one of these batches of dough while the other one's still in the refrigerator, because it heats up super quickly. So after your first 1 or 2, they really start sticking to whatever you're rolling it out on, your granite, your countertop, whatever you have. Maybe you're doing it on your dining room table. And I will tell you, the other thing that I did is when actually this batch got stuck, I just used my spatula that I had and just put it and shoved it underneath them so that it would still come out up in like one piece. It wouldn't get so stuck. And then I kind of learned my lesson and added in some more flour so that the next time they wouldn't get so stuck. But I will say that the dough, it does warm up really quickly, so you have to go, you know, fairly fast. I mean, if you're going to do this with little kids, I think they could help with like maybe placing the cookie cutters and then of course decorating it. And I did roll out one batch, and I actually baked them off, and then I rolled out the other batch because they, like I said, they do warm up, and they really do spread out if you want to keep them, you know, to look like a gingerbread man or whatever you cut them out in. I also wanted to get a snowflake, but I just didn't get one in time. The other thing I tried to do, which did not work, was to try to make my gingerbread man like holding a little piece of foil so I could maybe possibly make him on like climbing up like a lollipop stick or something like that. But when I baked him off, it actually just collapsed onto it. So I might try it again next time and see if I can get him to work that way, because I know you can.
Sorry, it's a little dark. I need to go get my light. But here's our cookies, and they are all rolled out. I'm going to go ahead and pop these into my refrigerator for just like a minute or 2, or into my freezer, because we want these gingerbread cookies to also be soft. They're not going to be really hard. That's what I wanted, because they taste better that way. If we don't do that, then there still might
kind of spread out, and we want to prevent that. So we're just going to pop them into, I think I'm put them into my freezer because I have a deep freezer outside just for like a minute or two. Then we're going to pop them into our oven. It's going to be at 350 and we're going to bake them for 10 minutes. I wanted to show you once they are baked what they look like. They're not going to be super hard at this point. I want to show you when you push on them, see that it goes down just a little bit. So when in 10 minutes is up, you need to pull them out. And if you have two going, maybe switch the rack so they bake evenly. Okay, we have all our cookies out of the oven, and I'm going to show you now how to decorate them, along with my daughter. Some of them I'm sure you did, because we just had a lot going on today. We had more homework than I expected, parent-teacher conferences on Zoom today, so we're going to see, and some of them she already did, so I can show you some of the ones. We're going to show you two different ways. One, I'm going to show you how to make your frosting and go ahead and put it in a bag, and it's going to be thicker to make like the eyes, or if you want to do buttons. And then I'm also going to show you a way, maybe you're not great at, squeezing it, and maybe you just want to dip them. I'm going to show you some fun ways we can do some like little swirls and things, especially if you have kids that don't have fine motor skills. Okay, so I'll show you how to make this fun royal icing. Okay, this is the key to good royal icing, and that to me is using meringue powder. I've tried it a lot of different ways, but I feel like this is the best. You're going to need 1 tablespoon of meringue powder, 1 teaspoon of either vanilla extract, almond extract, whatever you think would taste good into your royal icing. You need it to have some kind of flavoring besides sugar. I prefer an almond because it's also clear, so you can keep your white super white. And now I just added in 3 tablespoons of water, and I did this first. Now listen, you can also do this in like your paddle mixer or handheld mixer, and I just want to do it super fast and show you that you didn't have to do it. But if you are going to mix it by hand, you need to make sure that everything is combined and there is no like little clumps of sugar. The other thing you could do is sift your powdered sugar. So I'm starting with 2 cups of sugar, and we are making a thinner one because I wanted to show you the thinner you make it this is how we are going to swirl our cookies if you don't want to decorate. See how you can see a little bit of the flour on it? And that's what you'll see if you didn't roll it between 2 pieces of saran wrap. But I actually like this, and I also enjoy dipping and swirling my cookies instead of piping it on. I'm going to just show you both ways. I think they're both super fun to do. And using the meringue powder, after this sits royal icing, it is going to harden. It's not going to harden quickly, but when you see those beautiful cookies with they just look so pretty on top, it's because the royal icing is made this way. And I also found these little bitty, I actually bought these for something I never made. I had these little gold glitter stars. I think I've also bought those on Amazon one day. Or you could just take some of your just normal crystal sugary sprinkles you can buy just in any baking aisle and just decorate your tree that way. Either way, whatever you want to decorate, I know, use your imagination, let your kids go crazy. I know we always want our cookies to be perfect. Just let your kids do whatever they want. And I do, like I said, they do turn hard after they have sat for a while. So I also wanted to show you this. You can use regular food coloring. I'm using gel food coloring because I think it's easier for this. You can buy it online. I've had this forever. I think I used it last year, and I used it for my Easter cookies too. And then you can swirl them, and they look so pretty. And when they dry, they are just gorgeous. They're some of my favorite cookies to make. And they're so easy, especially if you're not great at piping. And I am not great at piping. The one that's on my thumbnail, the one with the little gingerbread that looks perfect with a little bow tie and everything, my husband actually did those for me once he got home. So to make those, to pipe it to look like that, you're going to need to add in about another additional cup of powdered sugar. Then I just place it into a Ziploc bag. You just want to fill it up and then shove it into one of the corners and get all of the air out of it. And just push it down into it. Then you just take your pair of scissors. We're just going to clip off, and it needs to be just a small amount. See, I'm only okay at piping. I feel like my husband is so good at it, and he uses the exact same thing, and it's turned out perfect. I was like, where were you when I was doing this other part of my video? He's so talented. I also had these edible ink markers. I did it in the end. You'll see it says Merry Christmas. I want to let you know, if you were to let it sit out overnight, or not even overnight, just a few hours, and those would have worked better, because once it gets really hard, then you can write on them, mark on them. my daughter had made that purple color, and I just wanted to show you could also use a spoon and just spoon on your color. Thanks for joining today. Sorry my daughter couldn't join. She just got busy with homework and everything else, but she did make some adorable cookies. I'll put some of them, I'll show them all here at the end. And they just are super cute. I love decorating with my kids. I know we're gonna do some more because I have like tons of cookies and we're gonna do it tomorrow after school, but I wanna get this video out or I'd show that too. So I hope you guys give this a try, give this recipe a try, do some decorating with your family. And I know that a lot of you wanted to learn some Christmas signs, so I thought I'd put my daughter in an upcoming video. If there's a sign that you would like to learn, make sure you leave it in the comments and we will make sure that it's one of the Christmas signs we do, or we might just do a fun little short, I'm not sure. So let us know in the comments. I hope everybody is great and we will see you soon. Bye-bye. So here's some more fun ones. If I had let that sit for a few hours, it would have worked so much better with the edible markers, which are also a lot of fun. Here's some of the ones that my kids made. I just wanted to show you. Turned out so cute. I love the Christmas tree my daughter did. It's all green. Or the little Caroline one, you know, with the little X on the eye. Do you remember? Did you guys watch Caroline? Anyways, so I thought that they all turned out super cute. They're all so different. And again, I loved my husband's ones. I wish I could pipe like that. And she even did this one, was one of her first ones. She was still getting a hold of the bag, but she also put a candy cane on to holding candy cane, which I thought was also just like a super cute idea. Any idea, you could probably use any kind of candy. I've seen them done with gumdrops. I've seen them done with all kinds of stuff. Just walk down the candy aisle and let your kids pick some out. Here's my husband's ones, which I used for my thumbnail one. Also, we need to have him show us how to pipe that way because he is just super talented. Granted, if you don't know, he is a chef and he went to culinary school, so of course his are gonna look better than ours, but I think they all turned out cute. I hope you guys all give this a try and try it with your kids. It is such a fun thing to do, and I hope everybody is doing great.